Shut up. I can't hold it back. Set it off. I can't hold it back.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Miss Sine, and welcome to episode 5 of the I Gotta Speak On It podcast. Today we will be discussing SetLife. Back in 2016, Atlanta was named the largest among U.S. states for film production. This caused a huge spike in interest in terms of people wanting to pursue careers in production. So today we're getting down to the real deal of the field. Joining me in the studio today, as always, is my brother E. Canada, who has over 20 years working in production. What's up, E?
What's good? What's good?
We have the CEO of Media Solutions Group, who also works as a talk show / reality show producer, Miss Tsadiqwah Scarville.
Hey.
Hey, hey, hey. We have joining us as well, creative director / casting associate, Tokyo Garcia.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, Tokyo. And last but not least is Airelle Thornhill, who is a recent graduate of George Mason University, where she studied communication media production and is currently working as a production assistant in Fairfax, Virginia, but anticipating bringing her talents to the A. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome.
Hey, y'all.
Yes.
So let's get right into it. What that SetLife be like? What's up?
It's real.
How real is it? Tell the
SetLife
people
is
how
real.
real SetLife is. Like, I feel like there's a huge misconception that it's all fun and games on the set.
Glitz and glam.
Right. Glitz and glam. You're around celebrities. You're around all kinds of...
Yeah, I mean, it's partly that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there are, it's high points, but it's real. I mean, you're talking about, I've worked like literally 30-hour days on music videos.
30 hours?
30 hours. I know it's only 24 hours in a day, but we work 30 hours straight. Like, you know.
Beyonce video?
Yeah, because you have all these different takes.
Right.
You know, you might have, one scene, but you have to keep taking multiple takes until you get that perfect shot.
Yeah.
And that's just one scene. What if you're taking 30 scenes in that day? And then you have to move locations. Every time you move locations, you got to pick up the cameras. You got to pick up the props. You got to pick up everything and relocate everything. The trucks, every trailers, everything moves with you.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of that takes up to 30 hours,
Yeah.
So.
And then not just that, like,
And that's for a music video is what? How long is a typical music video? Like 2 minutes? I think?
4 minutes?
Four
Yeah.
minutes?
4 minutes.
Now, look at all the scenes shot in that music video and how many takes it took to shoot one scene.
Mm-hmm.
It took like hours upon hours and days upon days for something that someone watches just for 3-4 minutes.
Right, right.
now, it is a difference when you get into doing like movies and TV commercials and all of those things, because then you could spend maybe 2 hours on a rehearsal.
Mm-hmm.
And the actors trying to make sure they got their lines and just different things like that. It is time consuming. And then on top of that, it almost comes to a point of you have to ask yourself, do I really want this? Like, can I continue to do this with my health, my mind, my body, and all of those things? Because if you've never been used to waking up at 1 o'clock, being on set by 3 a.m., getting off around midnight, 1 a.m., like it really puts some strains on you, you know. And it's more about the sacrifices that come with this. It's not like what we make it seem when we be posting pictures and being like SetLife.
Right.
No,
Yes.
It's not all of that smile go lucky type stuff.
That's after.
It's after.
After you done spent 60 hours with these fools, y'all became
Exactly.
family, then y'all throwing up the deuces together. That's after the
Exactly.
fact.
Right.
But when you in the midst of the storm,
Yeah.
and it's in the deadlines
Deadlines,
will mess with your mental fatigue, because you have deadlines, you have long hours, and there's no rooms for mistakes.
Yeah, no room.
There's no rooms for a misspelled word.
Yeah.
There's no rooms for an extra not being where extra's supposed to be at that
Exactly.
time.
Right.
And this is like a hurry up and wait business.
Yeah. I was gonna say that. Yeah.
And also too, it's like a family.
Yes.
So when you have a family, sometimes you have conflicts within the family.
Mm-hmm.
And that can throw off the tempo of the set. This one isn't getting along with this one, and that one ain't getting along with that one. And it's like, oh man, so you never know what you're gonna come across every day. Like some people don't get along with other people. So it can take 30 hours just because these two people, you know what I'm saying? So,
Or even situations that I know of, artists, sometimes even artists or somebody could
The
just
talent.
feel like, I want to take my time. I'm not feeling this right now. I don't want to do this. I need something to drink, or I need my DOC, or, whatever it could be. It's like, it really does, like, interrupt the whole process, the move of the thing, And then attitudes, there's people who could have a smooth attitude, and then next 15, 20 minutes, they are like complete jackass.
Right.
And I mean, even with it's everybody.
It's the pressure.
Titles make people have egos that carry
Absolutely.
certain things, and whether you are expecting it or not, be guaranteed that you're gonna get it.
Yeah.
I mean, you raise an important topic, because I've worked on set before, but as a makeup artist. And what I realized early on in the game, I'm such a vibes person that if someone was sitting in the chair and they were just very what's the word I'm looking for,
Hollywood.
they're Hollywood, or they feel like they're better than you, it would throw me off. It would throw off my whole creative process. Like, I just took it on. And so my question to you, Tokyo, is how do you stay grounded when you're faced with those kind of personalities? Because that threw me off from the industry for a while. I was like, you know what, I just want to do my next door neighbor's makeup and things like that. I just want to do brides, people that are appreciative of the craft, not people that are telling me what to do. So I want to know.
Prom girls.
Right, I want to do prom girls. They love lip gloss and things like that. So I want to know from you, because you've been in the industry for a while now, how do you remain in your Tokyo bag?
Yes, Tokyo bag. Sound like a coin term.
Yes.
It's more so about
No, you need a
your
whole bag
integrity.
line called Tokyo.
You know what? I'm gonna work on
Oh,
that.
he's
I'm
gonna
gonna work on
He's
it.
gonna have it.
I'm gonna make sure y'all be there at the
Yes,
party and
yes.
everything. Okay.
I'll shout you out.
I mean, it's more so about your integrity, your character, never letting people feel like they can take something from you. Like, I live off of being salty and holding on to my life. And then it's more so about what you know. And when you know what you know, you know. And one main thing is knowing who you are. Because you allow people to talk to you any type of way in this industry. They will, and they're going to do it. And you're going to see yourself doing that same thing, but what is your approach on it too?
Right.
Like, will I still have have compassion for you, or have you in mind before I want to pop off? Like, you got to know how to hold yourself grounded, be grounded. Like, anything could come about and it'll make you feel like you can't do this, you can't do that, or you can't speak to this person or say that to them or anything like that, because you could be consumed with the culture of everything that's going on, that you'll forget about myself, and I've learned that I can't consume myself with that type of energy. That's not of me. I don't come from that. I want to make sure that I at least show my light where I am. Even if I may be down on the inside, you won't know it. But I'm making sure I express that, I give that, because it's important to make sure you have that same investment in that project
Right.
that you have within yourself.
Right.
Because I know when I was doing photography and wardrobe styling and things like that, I would tell clients off bat, I don't care who you are, I don't care what you've done, you may have a little bit more money than me or anything like that, but as of right now, we agreed on time. Your time is my time is your time. You're going to pay for it, but at the same time,
Yeah.
we on the same level. You're not above me, I'm not below you, we're right here neck and neck. And we're going to make sure we do what we got to do to make it happen, you know? But integrity.
Yeah.
Integrity.
Integrity. What about you, Tsadiqwah? How do you handle dealing with difficult attitudes? Whether
Well,
it
I've
be
been on both sides of the fence,
Mhm.
so I'm gonna play devil's advocate because I've been the one to have received attitude. I've been the one to give it as well, right? So, you know, I'm not perfect, right? But I will, you know, going back to what I said earlier, the pressures of this business. It's not even. First of all, it took me a long time to realize nothing personal. It's just business.
Right.
All business,
Yeah.
never personal. But you know, there is a lot of I think attitude or entitlement that may come with different titles. You know, such as myself, I now have a producer title. I was once a production assistant. So, you know,
All right,
my
yeah.
attitude was different when I was a production assistant. My attitude is different now that I'm a producer.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm very focused where I don't have time for small talk. It's not that I'm not being friendly, but everything is so deadline oriented, and a lot of people who are just coming into the TV world, such as recent grads or new hires or people who just start off in this business or people who flat out don't work in the business. They're the viewers, they're the audience, they're the buyers, they're the consumers. They don't understand the urgency that comes with what we do. So sometimes we don't have time to say good morning.
Right.
It's no,
Cut to the chase.
just because I got
Yeah.
time is money, and everything that we're doing is based off of money. This production that we're doing, this is a $1 million, this is $100,000 production. You know, we have other outlets, other networks who are buying into this. They're paying for this production. They're paying for this advertising. They're paying for this space. You know what I mean? And they're paying for this time, and it trickles all the way down to the directors, the writers, the producers, and the talent. You know, sometimes the talent, at the end of the day, they're getting paid money to be the face of this production, right? The face of this set, but you don't know what they left at home.
Right.
Exactly.
They could have just got into it with their child.
Very true.
So it's not even that, like, you know, they don't want to do it and they acting uppity. Sometimes you forget that you're a real person in this business, you know, because it's so pressure oriented, everything's so deadline oriented, and it's so glitz and glam that you could get wrapped up in it and forget that, damn, I still got matters of the heart.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I still got some shit I'm dealing with. My mom
Right.
is sick. You know, my lights is off. You don't know.
Yeah.
So it's so much that you're carrying with you. But you know, this entity, this business, this industry, I think it's like any other business. I mean, I have friends who work in law enforcement. I have friends who work in law. I have friends who work in the medical field, the education field, the financial fields. I don't know so many people who work in the media spectrum, in the entertainment spectrum, and it is a different breed. I call it a secret society. I call it a lifestyle. It's not just a job. It's
Right,
a
it's a
secret
lifestyle,
society because till this day, you know, I have family who like they don't understand me having to work on Christmas Day,
Yeah.
or I know you can relate,
Yeah,
Rachel,
absolutely.
because you work in
All kinds of
all
different
types of
industries.
fields,
Even when I was
industries
doing
that-
makeup, medical field, every industry I've been in, they don't care about holidays.
yeah, right. But to get back to just,
Until I work for
the
myself.
original answer, I just learned that it's never personal. It's just business. And sometimes you gotta take your moment. I know for me, sometimes I gotta take a moment and go in the closet and curse at the wall before I curse her out.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have so much stuff pent up in me, I gotta go out and cry so nobody
Right.
knows that I'm going through shit at home.
Right,
Exactly.
right.
And you get rid of all that out your system and you come back and you do the job
You do
because
the
there's
job.
so much pressure again in this business that you don't even have time to cry.
Right.
Yeah.
You have no time to cry. You have no time to show weakness.
Yeah.
None of it. And this business will build you like a beast, which
Yeah.
is why sometimes you see talent is they uppity or a director's uppity. It's not even like they're uppity, it's just you're almost like a product of it.
Mm.
You could become robotic in this, for
Mhm.
real.
Yeah,
you
I can
could
see
lose
that.
yourself in it, but I think that people like Tokyo, myself, and like all of you guys, like
Mhm.
we there's God in us, right?
Mhm.
Because sometimes
That's
people
it.
lose themselves so big over the glam that they
Yeah.
might even lose God. It's like, come on now.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
At some point, you got to know that I'm still Tsadiqwah outside of this TV stuff.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So it's balance.
Yeah,
balance.
balance.
You
Yeah.
have anything to add to that, E?
I grew up in a black household, so. I'm
Don't
used
get
to-
twisted, bro.
I'm used to getting yelled at. You know what I'm saying? So, if you grew up in a black household, you get yelled at before
And
you even do
personality
anything.
differences.
You know what I'm saying? You don't ask for nothing when we go in the store. So I don't
I
take
give you
that.
something to cry about.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't take that personal. Like, I
Yeah.
I have thick skin. So, like, there's been times where I've been on set and, it'll be yelling back and forth. And then once they wrap, we
It's
all
all good.
drinking, having fun. It's part of the game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a high pace, job, and there's gonna be attitudes. There's gonna be some raising the voices, and
And you spend so much time with these people.
yeah,
So much.
It's
time.
like anybody. It's like having a boyfriend and you cooped up under
Yeah.
him all the time.
Mhm.
Eventually, y'all gonna get each other's nerves. It's the
Yeah.
same thing.
And
Right.
then on top of that, you spend the same amount of time with the people on set that you would expect to spend with the people you love.
Yes.
More than
Yeah.
the people.
Even more.
Yeah,
you know?
even more.
I mean, just hitting back onto what she was talking about is there are sacrifices
Yeah.
that come with this,
I was gonna get
And
to that.
family
I
is
was going to
certainly
get to
one
that.
of them.
Mhm.
And holidays, you don't get to do all of those
And you
things.
travel a lot.
I remember when I was in Shanghai, China, and my grandmother was ill,
Mm.
and I come back to the States, and we flew to New York, and I remember just having so much on my mind
Mhm.
that I couldn't accept the situation that I've placed myself in, because you only get one grandma, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it made me to be like, okay, I can't keep just pushing things to the side. Like, that was so important for me to make sure I be there if and when she was to pass.
Right.
But she did eventually pass.
Mhm.
But I was glad that I had a moment.
Mhm.
And I had that moment to share with my family. And then I just said, your family is what pours back into you.
Right.
You know, that's an undefined love, you
Mhm.
know. Nobody will love you like that.
Mhm.
And when you doing all of this, you moving around and stuff like that, yeah, you consider it to be love that you getting from other people, but in reality, it'll never be that family love. It'll never be what, you've grown up to obtain from
Right.
them, you know. And it does seem like you take it for granted, but it's a part of the sacrifices.
Mhm.
And in order to make it in this industry, you got to be willing to take those sacrifices. I don't care what it is.
Mhm.
Even
It's
if
what
it is
it
an
is.
attitude.
So let me
Yeah.
ask Airelle, being as though you are a recent graduate,
Yes.
and you have had some experience,
Mhm.
what is it that sparks your interest to be in this industry?
I think it's mostly because I'm all over the place. I enjoy doing a lot of different things, and I think that being in the entertainment, it interests me. And if I'm not passionate about it, I don't want to do it.
Right.
I'm just not going to do it. And I'm also one of those people, I came from a single parent home. It's just me, my mom, and my sister. I mean, there's my dad, but we're not as close. I don't have a large family. So when I was younger, all I did was work. All I did was, go to school, make sure my grades were good. And so I kind of have already committed a lot of my life to work. And it's like, after graduating, I realized I'm not going to have a job that I don't want to do, a 9-to-5 that I hate every single day. I don't like to be unhappy in life. So I'm going to pour myself into my passion,
There you go.
which is this. So, or at least trying to find it,
Right.
Yeah.
And I might not be right where I might not want to be on set every single day, but I might want to do like some creative things behind the scenes, things like that. So.
Mhm. That's awesome. Is there a particular place that you see yourself, like in the present?
I want to try to get into reality. I'm not 100% sure, you know. I think that I'm one of those people, try it out, see if you like it. And if you don't, that's okay, move on to the next thing. But if you do, try to see, like, if you can get somewhere so somebody can try to mold you and help you get into that a little bit better. So I'm thinking a little bit of the creative department within entertainment televisions. I really enjoy like, you know, Ellen and The Real and things like that. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'll try that.
Okay. So Tsadiqwah, since you've had a lot of experience with reality shows and talk shows, what advice would you give to Airelle, who has an interest in that?
I will definitely say, obviously start off with an internship. Have you interned already?
I have.
Okay. And have you had a production assistant title?
I currently hold one now, yes.
You do?
Yes.
So you're already in the business, and really it's just, it's obviously doing the best job, and making connections. And when I say doing the best job, meaning this business really has no room for errors. I hate to say it, but you can't make no mistakes. Yeah, it's not the end of the world.
Right.
But because mistakes are really minimal in this business, when you make them, they're memorable. People remember them. So I will say, just put your best foot forward, make connections. When you think you are not being watched, people watch you and remember you. I just got a call this weekend to work on a show out in Connecticut. Because of my EP on my last show I worked on. You know what I mean? Now, I would think that if he didn't remember me, he wouldn't have called me.
Right.
Right? So, definitely stay in touch with the people you work with. Also, a good thing for anybody who's listening, it's important to join professional groups. Facebook is not just about posting a selfie and what you did last night and who you took to the movies last night. It's really, I think, more so about joining the professional TV groups because in those groups are where you're going to find the job postings. Because this industry is not the type of industry. Now, news, yes. News, you can go to CNN.com and you can apply and upload your resume. But that's not always the case for a lot of these other shows. Like Love and Hip Hop. There's no official job posting for Love and Hip Hop for wanting to be a producer on it.
Right. So
you have to join these groups and network with these other professionals. And then take your shot. Send your resume over. And just keep doing that, and then as you're doing it, you're literally you're connecting the dots. It's happening right before your eyes.
With that being said, with what you just said, how is it more important what you know or who you know in this business?
It's both.
Okay.
It's both.
Because I feel like sometimes if you're with the right people, they will be more patient in training you to do what they would like you to do. Because I've seen people that haven't even gone to school, haven't done the coursework, get into the industry because they've had certain connections and people to groom them.
Well, that's definitely, yes, a factor. There's no right or wrong way to do things. Right. It's like you're doing everything simultaneously. It's all happening at the same time. So the same time that you're talking to people and you're in front of people's face and they're able to see you physically do the work, your resume needs to showcase that as well. A lot of times, there's been times where I don't necessarily have the experience, but my resume is a seller. That I sell me before they even see me. And then once, my dad always told me, he said, don't pray for the job, pray for the interview. Once you get the interview, then pray for the job. Take it step by step, is my point. Right. So, I would just say that, yes, it does matter who you know, but you have to, in order for you to get to know someone and get in front of them, you have to first entice them so that they even want you in their presence. So that's why things like your resume count.
Right, right. Tokyo. So when you decided to be in the industry, did it turn out to be way different than what you thought it would be?
Totally.
What did you think it would be like?
I mean,
What enticed you?
well, actually, after I got discovered as
Oh, you were discovered.
a child model,
Oh, hey.
I did my
He
first.
was holding that one
um,
back.
I did my first project, which was called Queen Size for Lifetime,
Okay.
and then I did another one, which was originally called A Better Man,
Okay.
but it ended up coming out as Welcome Home Roscoe Jenkins.
Ah.
When I stepped foot on that set of Welcome Home Roscoe Jenkins, seeing Martin Lawrence,
Mhm.
Monique, and all of these other people doing what they were doing, it let me know, like, this is the arena I want to be in.
Mhm.
I'm like 14, 15, 16,
Wow.
like, on set. Didn't know what I was getting myself into it at first because I was solely focused on, like, modeling and
Mhm.
things like that. But knowing that God has a way of showing you something else
Mhm.
in the midst of blessing you with something,
Mhm.
it made me realize that I wanted to do what they was doing.
Mhm.
That was the first time I seen people running around.
Mhm.
Nobody was talking about the people that was behind the scene.
Mhm.
They was more so focused on the people in front of the camera, the talent, and all
Right.
of those things. I immediately remember going to school. Right after we finished this, going back into the school, I'm in the library and I'm looking up things like producers.
Mhm.
What is a production assistant?
Mhm.
What is a DP?
Mhm.
Like, what are all these things? Because that's what I
titles.
kept hearing. And thankfully I was able to go back and forth on set. Went from being compensated for it to where people just wanted us to be around, as far as like me and my sister and stuff, because she would take me
Mhm.
and we would hang out with all the different people and the talent, and we would go out and our conversations weren't what you would normally think somebody would be having with a like 14-year-old or anything like that.
Mhm.
And it gave me insight as far as like, I want to be in the entertainment industry. I want to be there. I don't care how you get there.
Right.
I just knew that I needed to be there. And I'm just like, okay, once I got a taste of that, I was able to do so many different other things.
Mhm.
And then when I moved to Atlanta, I met people like Eric and some other people who truly took the time out to invest
Okay.
in me and make sure I grew.
Nice.
They saw more of my drive than I seen for myself. And I didn't hold myself valuable enough when I first came here. But Eric, Ham, and Nia, and all of these other people literally took the time out to be like, hey, come on, let's go, let's do this, let's do that. You should do this, you should go to this person, you should meet this person or whoever. And the more they kept pushing me, the more I started to wake up into who I am.
Walk into your purpose.
And yeah,
Mhm.
and I remember getting my first opportunity to be a celebrity assistant, and I was working for an artist, but I knew I wouldn't ever had access to that artist if it wasn't for the access that they could give me.
Mhm.
Access is everything.
Oh yeah.
It's more so about once you have it and you holding on to it, what are you doing with it?
Mhm.
I can't be on set just wanting to take pictures with celebrities and hang around with these
Hello?
stars. That's not on my mind.
Right.
I'm thinking about, first off, this dollar I'm finna get, this work I'm finna throw myself into, because I know I'm finna be sitting here for long hours. Might as well send my texts and call people at weird hours and moments of the day, because I know I can't talk to my mama in the next hour.
Right.
I know I can't call my dad in the next hour. I know I can't talk to my sister or anybody and check on them to see how they're doing. But at the end of the day, who's checking on me too? You know?
Right.
And you got all these different things that are going on, but it's always been about access and making sure you utilize it, and it gives you a drive to know, like, hey, I can do anything. Like, never let nobody try to hold you from what you know, you know. And but yeah, that's.
You have a story, honey.
I definitely do.
We gonna write a book about Tokyo's journey.
It's coming.
Yeah, okay, look. Stay tuned. So, Eric, over the years, how has your love for the industry, has it changed? Is it the same?
This is gonna sound crazy, but I feel like the industry is like an abusive relationship.
Wow.
Yeah.
All of
It's
that.
crazy. It is. Because
Money is the root of all evil.
you wanna, there's been so many times where I'm like, I wanna leave. I really wanna leave.
But I love her.
Yeah. I love it. Like, for real, like, I can't leave. As much as you'll get cursed out, you'll get, you know, you'll be down on your luck, you'll be just at your lowest, and it's like, I need to get out of this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you can't, because the love is there. And you, like, that love, like, the one thing I can say is throughout the years, I've realized how much I love it. Like, I knew that I liked it coming in, but now I realize how deep the love is, because I can't go anywhere. You know, like, this is it. Like, it's all or nothing.
But now is it more so like, you would rather it more so on your terms? Like, why do you associate that with an abusive relationship? Like, what's the abuse of it?
Everything. Like, everything. Like, it's
Everything
not
we talk about,
fun.
right? Like the
Yeah.
sacrifice,
Yeah,
the
like, it
pressure,
is not
the attitude.
fun.
So actually, let's
Like,
get into that. What
you'll
are like
lose
some of the
friends,
sacrifices? Yes, there you go.
family.
Sacrifices.
Yeah, like, you'll lose friends, family, money, like, time, special moments. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much that you're giving up and you're sacrificing.
Right.
Yeah.
But when you got that love, I
And
mean,
support.
yeah, you know, but yeah, I mean, at the same time, you still need, like, everybody in this room understands what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Because everybody in this room, at some point, had a moment where it's like, yo, this is a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a lot. And, you know, it's like, you know, kind of like, what did I get myself into? You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like, there's moments where it's like, yo, I love it. Like, I wouldn't change it for the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can say that I've experienced things that the average person hasn't experienced. I've been places that the average person hasn't been to. I've met people and sat down with people that the average person will only see on TV or whatever. Like, our world in here is totally different than the average person's world. Like, I guarantee you, every person here will have a family member or a friend, like, yo, what was it like working with that artist?
Right.
Or what's it like working on that show? Or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They're mesmerized by it.
Right.
You know what I'm
But you don't
saying?
really want to know.
Yeah. You really want to know? Do you really want to know how they are?
Man, listen, I've done makeup on someone who, when I was a little girl, like, she was part of a group and she was my favorite one in the group. So I was like, oh my God, I get to touch her face. And
You was disappointed.
man, listen, I'll never listen to none of their songs again. I don't. She took my lipstick. She didn't get back my lip. Yes, she got serious.
I let a talent use my lace Calvin Klein dress.
Oh.
Never wore it, honey. Got it on sale from Lord and Taylor. Okay, for like $189.99. That was the sale price. Never got it back.
What?
So
Yeah,
that's
things
funny.
like that.
I thought I was the only person who had a story like
No,
that.
it ruins it.
Not
It
like your
ruins
friend,
it for
but
you.
a talent.
A talent,
bro.
no. It
You
will
think they got
ruin
all the juice and all the sauce already? Nah,
it will ruin it for you. Right? But I noticed that, like, when I'm around celebrities, I have tunnel vision. So, like, I won't even notice that. Sometimes I've had celebrities in my chair and I didn't even know who they were until after they got up. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's who that was. But I think it is important to just be able to focus on what you're doing instead of the snapping the pictures. Oh, let me get this, let me get an autograph, because it's like the professionalism.
It's work. We're all we're all working, so let me just take you through a typical day at my show. So first of all, we tape every 3 weeks. We plan for 2 weeks. Those are called our dark weeks. The third week is when we shoot our shows. So the first 2 weeks, we are booking guests, meaning we're casting. We're going through, read hundreds of emails, hundreds of letters. We have to go through meetings and meetings with our producers, then with our senior producers, then with the executive producers. And you are fleshing it out, fleshing out the details, getting the story right. And our guests that we book for a show, I spend 2-3 weeks with them on the phone before they even get on a plane and fly to me. They've never seen me, but I'm the casting producer. So all of this goes into the 2 weeks of preparation. And, you're writing storylines, you're writing your case overview or your show overview, you're writing the host scripts. All of these have to go through channels of approval. So everything I write has to go to my senior producer, and then it has to be checked off by so it goes tiers, right? And you're spending like 10 hours to 12 hours a day perfecting and fine-tuning until you get a 30-minute segment. And then the week of taping is when you actually see everything that you've been producing and putting together come to life on screen. Yeah. Right? And you do that every 2-3 weeks and day in and day out. It's like a hamster wheel, day in, day out, day in, day out. So that's pretty much that's for a talk show, because I'm a talk show producer. Reality TV is different from talk show. Court talk shows are different from daytime talk shows. Films are different from commercials. Commercials are different from film. It's different genres of television.
What's the positive stuff about working in the industry? What still gets you guys getting up and ready to do it, and getting up at those 2 a.m. those 2 a.m. call times and things like that? E, I'll start with you. Yeah.
That's a love for me, but I can say it's actually been a lot of great moments. Like I've met people and been places. I want to say one of the coolest people I've ever met was probably 50.
Really?
Yeah, 50.
Who would have known?
Yeah.
Was it a Queens thing?
Nah, it wasn't even a Queens thing.
I think you biased. I think you biased. I think you're being biased.
Yo, cause a lot of times you'll be working on set and you'll have talent that'll look at the crew they're kind of beneath them. Mm-hmm. Yo, Fifth used to always show love to the crew. He used to he would just come chop it up with us, hang out with us, where you have other talent that's oh, you can't say anything to them. Mm-hmm. Oh, you can't be in the same room as them. Mm-hmm. If they look at you, look at the ground. It's literally, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's really some of them are pimps, where it's yo, don't ever look this person directly in their face.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I've actually been blacklisted before.
Excuse me?
Yeah, well, several times.
Well, how you been blacklisted several times?
I've been blacklisted
Not several times.
Several times,
Who
yo.
blacklisted you?
But that's the thing about it. One thing about the industry, you're gonna make mistakes. Mm-hmm. you can't be afraid to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna make mistakes. I know
You're
I
gonna
said don't
make
do
mistakes.
it.
You're like just
Don't get caught. Don't
work
get
through
caught
it.
doing
Just
it.
don't get caught. That's
Yeah,
I know like that.
Or if you get caught, you'll work through it.
Yeah.
Like, work through it. Like,
It's
Yeah.
It's Murphy's Law. Anything that could go wrong will go wrong.
Just make it
But you
sound
gotta-
good.
but you
It's
gotta
all
do
about
it.
word choice.
Yeah.
All about word choice.
like I remember working as an intern on a documentary, and I was working in the tape room, and somehow I accidentally taped over one of the tapes when I was dubbing, and when I say they was hot,
Ooh, I'm hot.
but I mean, I just worked through it. I'm still here.
I'm still standing.
Yeah, so
And you
standing,
My name's
yeah.
take your fault.
Okay.
Take your fault.
Yeah,
You're
like
wrong, but
like there's nothing you gonna get yelled at.
you gotta get yelled at,
You
so
got,
just take it.
you gonna get attitude. You
Yeah.
gonna get all that. Just take it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So So like I said, it's a lot of good things, and you meet a lot of cool people, and like I said, just the love of it.
Yeah.
What about you, Tote?
Well, for me, the best positives that you get from it is the access. You get to have fun.
When do you have fun?
You
While
on the
you're
set,
working.
you know, while you working, you really meet some interesting people.
Okay.
Because not everybody is the same, So you get some people who are so shy and timid, and then you get people who are just ready, whether it's on music videos, commercials, or film, or TV. Everything has its own energy, It has its own vibe. So, I mean, that alone is the best thing. The perks that come with certain things is nice. You may get an invite to a party, you
Right.
might get a free bottle of liquor from
Right.
somebody. You may get
You in the
anything.
green
It
room trying to get the talent makeup designer
ranges.
make artists like, you want your makeup too? Yeah. You know, you're the producer.
You
Right?
mess around, you become friends with like the makeup artists and the hairstylists, and you can get your hair done for free. You get this makeup, and you can go straight to a party
Right.
or whatever right after you get off set. But it's the privileges that come with it, and then on top of it, most importantly, you know that you put your all into something, your creativity.
That's what I was
Can't nobody take it from you. You know what I mean? And that's the beauty of it all, is that you're able to express and be a part of something amazing, no matter what it is. I don't care if it's an indie or a music video, even though you get in areas where you tend to tell yourself, like, I need to switch it up. I don't want to be just stuck in this little area. I want more. And the more you keep going, especially with you being starting here in Atlanta, don't just stop at anything. Reach for it all, because you're going to have access to it. And those are some of my positives. And knowing yourself. You find out who you are in this, and you gotta hold yourself accountable of it, and you don't play around with it, just stay true to who you are, because you know who you are. It's been birthed in you, But yeah, that's my positives from all of this.
Another dope thing too is we get to see the movie magic.
Yes.
Like there's something about
Being there while it's all happening.
Yeah, like,
Versus
and
before,
then-
before it's
I was
televised.
there.
knowing like, okay, this is how it was really done.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
like I worked on I was a production assistant on I Am Legend.
Oh, wow.
And that was crazy because you have what you call a lockup.
Yeah.
A lockup is where nobody can, pass through because you're shooting.
Security.
Yeah. Security. Yeah.
That's an inside joke. That's an inside joke. Inside joke.
So basically, like,
Love it.
you gotta lock. We had to lock up the whole entire city.
Yeah.
Like there was like things were going on. Like people were getting out, coming out the train station, going to work. People were coming out of stores. We had to go inside those stores and inside those train stations and hold people.
Wow.
Because if one person came out, it messed up the whole movie.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. You gotta shoot that scene again.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Same.
saying?
Yeah.
So like when I go back and I watch it, I'm like, yo, I was right in that subway station.
Right there.
And there was a guy yelling at me because he was waiting for work.
Oh, not
So,
wait for work.
Yeah, like just seeing all the behind,
that's
like you don't see anything the same.
Nothing. Yeah.
Nothing, you see nothing the same. Like
Mhm.
working on a reality show,
Oh gosh,
you,
yeah.
you see all the like how it really goes
How
down.
it really go.
Yeah, so
And
that's
how
another
they
video.
edit it. You know,
But,
someone had a
Mhm.
whole
Give me
book
story.
long list to talk about, but they only put this much
Yeah,
in
take
it.
those parts. Let's take
Yeah.
those parts because those are the juicy parts. And
We gotta
So-
return this car tomorrow.
yeah,
Yeah, we
yeah.
gotta hurry to get this shot
Give me them
before it
keys
gets
to
before
that
the sun goes
apartment we
down.
Wow.
Like I've worked on reality shows where on TV this was the worst person,
Yeah.
Oh wow.
but in real life they was my favorite. Like
Wow.
oh yeah, well, I used to love them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if you watch it on TV and the way they edit it, and it's like okay, well she did say that.
But she didn't mean it like
yeah,
that.
yeah. She ain't really say it
They
like
chopped and
that.
screwed it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, that's the remix that y'all
Yeah, that's
see.
the remix.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to the producer.
Yes.
We're storytellers.
Right. Sister Deepa, what keeps you going in the industry?
Ooh, I love the fast pace of it. It's like a high for me. I love the adrenaline. You know, we're like ring leaders because we know time is of the essence.
Yes.
People, we know it. The outsiders don't.
Right.
So hence sometimes that's where the attitudes come from and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like a secret power. It's like a high, and I like it. That's what really keeps me going. I think that the fast pace. I don't think I would get this from any other industry. Like I can't be a cross the guard. I can't be a teacher. I can't be a banker. I can't be a nurse because the boom 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 with TV. You don't get that anywhere else, and that's what I love. So because it keeps me on my toes. It keeps me ready to meet the demands of life. Because sometimes we don't want to meet the demands. We're tired, we stressed, you got bills, you got family going crazy. But you know, the demands in work and TV, in working in TV kind of helps you to focus on that instead of focusing on what other things may be going on in the world, right? So I like that demand and I like that urgency, that fast pace, because it really just it just really keeps me on my toes. It helps me to stay focused even when I don't want to be focused. Like, and you know, one thing with TV is you bounce around a lot. You might be working on a project that's taping out in Texas. Then your next project you might be taping for 2 weeks out in LA. Then your next project you might be taping for 6 months out in Hawaii. Or your next show might be in New York. This industry will move you around. But because of that, you have a lot of gaps of employment.
Exactly.
So you may work for 2 weeks here, you may not get you another job for 4 months.
Exactly.
Or you might be booked the whole year.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
beautiful.
it's a, you know, so sometimes when you're not working, you're on this high, and then it comes crashing down when you don't have work. It's like, what happened? My wheels stopped turning. But all in all, yes, I love the fast pace of this industry.
And let's not forget about God, most importantly.
Yeah.
Because all glory goes to Him first and foremost.
Right.
For all of us, you know, whatever you want to call Him.
Yep.
Is you know that it's something that you have asked for, you have dreamed about, you have wanted to taste and be around, which is why you can never let anything disrupt or distract you from your destiny. Your journey is going to be different from my journey, her journey, his journey, her journey, you know, but your journey is what builds you. And never compromise. You never want to get caught up in the culture of it all and you lose yourself, you know, because it can happen and it's easy to fall and just get caught up. But when you get on set, always tell yourself, I'm not here for that, but I know what I'm here for.
Your
You know,
purpose.
and it's your talent, it's your creativity. We all may be doing different things in TV and film, but we're not in the same lane either.
Right.
I gotta be mindful of the lane that I'm going in and be honest with myself as far as who I am in the lane. And there's no competition. Like, we already know, like, I'm not gonna be in this thing and just do it one way because you got your own way, you know.
Right.
There's no competition. Just be mindful and don't compromise for anything or anybody, because you'll play yourself.
Like, one thing I see a lot of is people thinking that there's a blueprint.
Yeah.
Thinking there's a fluke.
A
It's
blueprint.
It's a blueprint.
Oh no.
Like, there's no blueprint, yo. Like, for real. Like, it's just literally grind and don't give up.
And it's hunger. Like,
And no roadmap.
Yeah, it's no roadmap.
you
Cause
have
like,
to ask the questions. You have to, like, everything that I'm telling you to do. Like, I bet you a lot of your comrades don't even know that they should join Facebook groups.
I don't even think of.
That's
We
not
don't use Facebook. We millennials, us this age, we don't use
Instagram,
Facebook.
right?
It's
Yes.
always Instagram.
Yeah.
Everything is Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did have a question. This is kind of personal. So for me, all my life, I've always been like well connected to people, right? I know people in the music industry. I know people in the film industry, yada, yada, yada. However, I've never been the type to ask for hookups. Like, I know all of the gifts that God has instilled in me,
Yeah.
right? And for a time, I probably kept it to myself, right? Played with it a little, but I've never been like, hey, you know, you do this. And some of my friends have said that I've robbed myself because I've never, you know, taken it, if that's, for lack of a better word, taken advantage of the connections that I may have. I'd rather create a whole platform so I can do something, right?
It's best.
I just feel like it, right? So the question being is, what is the proper way? Like, if you do have a chance to be aligned with certain people, to go about it, because I've always looked at it as I'd rather prove who I am first. You know what I'm saying? Because I want them to come to me. I don't want to have to go to people, right? But that's not necessarily the correct way. I don't feel. Build a rapport,
But they're
right?
still gonna come to you.
But they're still gonna come to you.
You don't chase nothing.
And that's how I've always felt.
Cause what's child.
I've always felt like that, you know?
What's for you
Right.
is gonna come to you.
Right.
What you praying about, what
Right.
you been steadfast about, it's gonna come to you. It attracts you, and it lets you know, like, I'm in where I need to be. I'm in the atmosphere, and you don't chase anything.
Right.
And people, I hate when people say chase your dreams. No.
Right. If you're chasing it, that means
Let
it's
me
running
keep-
away.
Let me stay on my
That means
journey.
it's running
Exactly.
away.
Let me stay on my journey so I can receive
Right.
what my dream is.
Right.
I have to accept that thing. I gotta hold that thing, and I gotta be true to it, because I promise you, this is a open space where you can be lost.
I mean, this
No.
industry, you also gonna do a lot of free bono work. Let's not get it twisted,
Yeah.
okay? Before you
To
put
a
the
certain
coins, to a certain extent.
To a certain
And even,
extent.
even to this, even now, I still would do free stuff.
Depending on how it would help.
Hence now,
Right,
like,
right.
I'm not getting paid for this, you
Because
know.
it's opportunity.
But again, in the meantime, you and I are building a rapport,
Right.
right? And so I know that later on down the line, should, you know, opportunity presents itself and I know that you fit the criteria, I'm gonna come to you. You know what I mean? Or I'm, you know, if I got somewhere to go tonight, child, I need you to beat this face. You know, because we don't build this rapport
Right.
up.
I don't
So
even do
it's
makeup no more though. Like that.
She
I'm like,
gonna do my makeup. But you don't just come out and say, well, you remember how you gave me $3 last
Right,
week? You know, so I'm gonna need you to wash my car this week.
Right.
You don't just come out and say like that, but
Right.
it's again, it's networking, it's building a
One
rapport
hand
with
washes the
people,
other.
and really genuinely getting to know people and letting them get to know you, because in this business, a lot of people will they're like leeches.
Right.
They will leech onto you just
And that's
because
what I
they
would
know you got a
never want to
title.
be. I never try to do that.
Yeah.
And like we all know that, so we have to
Everybody
be
was
careful.
saying that.
Even you have to be careful that someone doesn't leech onto you
Of course.
with what you're doing.
I be ready.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, where were you last week?
Right.
When I was
Where
going
were
through
you
it.
when the chips were down?
Right,
baby?
no, I don't know. Who?
Right.
Who?
But it's about building
Mhm.
rapport. You know, I have worked on sets as a producer, and I've become friends with the talent.
Mhm.
And now the talent and I are friends.
Right.
And like to the point,
Yeah.
you know, like I met
Yeah.
Farrah Franklin. She's one of the original members of Destiny
Destiny's
Child.
Child,
I worked with her on a set. And we, over the days of us working together, we got to know each other. We switched numbers. Now we talking about doing lunch next week.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mind you, I was buying
It
Farrah
happens.
Franklin's music years
Yeah,
ago,
right.
not knowing years ago I
Trust,
would
I
one
know.
day be able to be cool to the point that, so things like that do happen,
Yeah,
but
it does.
I wasn't like, you know, I wasn't like some groupie who came up on Farrah. I was
Right.
working as a producer on set already.
Mhm.
We're equals pretty
Yeah,
much
yeah,
in the bigger scheme of things.
Right.
I'm a working professional, she's a working professional on set. And then you have that Kiki moment where y'all become girls because
Exactly.
obviously girls are gonna be
You
girls.
vibe,
You
yeah.
vibe.
And then you want to show yourself
Yeah.
as an asset.
Mhm.
Yes.
Your own set.
That's
Have
what I've
people
always-
want to
yeah.
be like, I gotta have that. I
Yeah.
gotta
Right.
have, you know, what that person is doing with, because you're gonna meet so many people in the industry who are jack of all trades,
Mhm.
but masters of none. You know, and when
Just you
people
speak
see
a
that you
word
got that
just
drive
now.
and you just
Mm-hmm.
going and going and going, people love that because they know like I can depend on you if I threw something your way.
Yeah.
I know that I can invest in you, whether it's my time, my education to you, what I've experienced. However, there's going to be like an investment that people deposit in you, and you have to receive those things, and it just opens up all these different avenues for you to go here, go there. You may start in TV and film, and you may be AR at a record label.
Yeah.
You never know. Like all of these things tie together, from hair to makeup to
Yeah.
modeling to TV, film, all of it. It goes together. It's a big old pot,
Mhm.
you know, and it's just stirring and stirring, and you got to stir it yourself too. But yeah, it's so much opportunity, you know, and I wouldn't let nobody try to take it from me for sure. And I know I feel the same way about a lot of other people, because once you start walking in your own rhythm, you start meeting people that can take you to that next level and take you to those next things, because
And you find your tribe.
and you find your tribe.
And you find
then
what
I
you-
just
what you're good
said,
at.
the more work you keep doing, don't allow yourself to be like, I'm not getting where I want to be, because everything it all happens in due time. But you gotta realize the moment you sit at the table with everybody, that you're eating with them too.
Mhm.
That's something that you have to really accept, because if you never accept it, you'll never take all of this in for real and truly have an appreciation for it, or continue
Yeah, you
to
gotta
have
tell
a
yourself you
drive.
made it. You gotta
Yeah,
tell
you
yourself.
made it already. I'd be a
Yeah.
fool.
Yeah.
I'd be a fool to not accept that I've made it.
Now
So,
I still want to get higher. Don't get
Yeah.
me wrong. Like you know,
Yeah.
I'm an associate producer. I still need to graduate to segment producer. I need to
Mhm.
graduate to singing producer. I need to get all the way
There's
to
no
segment
limit.
producer.
no limit.
There's no limit.
No limit.
But in my mind, I still feel like, girl, you made it to, you know,
Mhm.
because if you don't tell yourself, you will beat yourself up and think that,
Mhm.
because you have people looking at you. I have friends
Yeah.
who I went to high school with who inboxed me.
Mhm.
I haven't talked to them in 10 years, but for the mere fact that we're friends on Facebook and they're looking at me. I have friends who I went to college with, didn't even do anything after college. I graduated college in 06, you know, and so people are watching you and you know, it's a, you know, it's like, oh, I got all these eyes and stuff, and meanwhile, you're not even a star, a celebrity, like you're not Beyonce, you just
Exactly.
Well,
trying to
in
figure
your
out
eyes,
show
in your own
But
eyes, yeah, you're not,
in your own eyes.
yeah,
But
but
when
with someone else,
Yeah.
someone else you are,
you're
so
accomplished.
yeah, so sometimes you have to remind yourself, you know what, I ain't that bad.
Right. I'm pretty dope.
Yeah,
That's what I tell myself. I'm pretty dope.
You are.
But I think also too, like, you gotta know who you are in this business.
yeah,
Because for real, this business can change you.
Mhm.
If you don't know ahead of time who you are, because although building connections is cool, some people you don't want to be affiliated with.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Certain situations you don't want to be affiliated with.
Exactly.
You know, there was a documentary this week.
Oh Lord.
About a person.
Lord.
Go there.
I ain't gonna name no names, but
I want
yo,
them spirits in
yeah,
here.
we're not gonna go there. But I'm just saying, like, yo, every opportunity ain't a good opportunity.
No.
Very true.
You know what I'm saying? And if you don't know who you are, and you don't recognize that there are people out here that are snakes and have bad
Snake
energy
sheep.
and bad vibes, and yo, you gotta stay,
Vibes.
you know who you are.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because
The
I've
glitz
been,
and the glam and the money and the title will change
Yeah.
people.
yeah, and I mean,
And the
like,
different levels. The different levels of
Like-
the game.
I can't lie and say that I ain't been in rooms where there's been certain things going on that might have been morally wrong, and it's
Mhm.
like, yo, E, you want to get down with this?
No.
Nah, I'm good, fam.
Remember
You know what I'm
who you are.
saying? But at the same time, it's like, okay, you know, like I always feel like the industry's like high school.
Yes.
Like
You know
the
what
in
I'm
crowd.
saying? Yeah, like you got the in
crowd,
crowd.
rowdy people.
You got, you know what I'm saying? You got your rebels, and at the same time, you got your freshmen, sophomore,
Yeah.
Mhm.
junior, senior.
Mhm.
You know, like
The ones who cut
For-
class.
I was
Yeah,
a
you know
cutter.
what I'm saying?
Teach
Yeah,
the
you know
best.
what
I
I'm saying?
did cut. All I
Yeah.
did, I
you
did.
know,
But I still graduated on time.
because like how, you know, you were saying about like people looking up to you,
Mhm.
because you know you're a senior.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where you'll have someone who's a freshman coming in and it's like, yo, how do you move around? And
Mhm.
get, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You know, and one day that freshman will become a senior.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You know, like I remember,
The student becomes a teacher.
yeah, I remember like coming up and people that I PA'd with and, you know, seeing them on TV now or in movies
Exactly.
or whatever. It's like, oh man, I remember
Exactly.
the come up with
It
them.
don't stop.
Yeah, it don't stop. It's
It
gonna
don't
keep
stop.
going, and you can't stop.
It only
Yeah.
stops if you stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You are your biggest enemy,
Mm-hmm.
which is why every morning you get up, you see yourself first.
Set
Mm-hmm.
your
And
intentions.
if you don't get it with you,
Set
you
your
gonna miss it
intentions.
all day long.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta realize that everything starts within you, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, and I will say, working with Eric,
Mhm.
I learned the importance of grip tape.
Because
I-
not the grip tape, child. Not the black grip tape. Why he taught you about the
Hey,
grip tape?
because I can't remember which project it was,
And you
but
can't
I
use
was
them for
driving a
boobs to hold
box
your
truck.
dress. I learned
Right,
that. I learned
right.
that. I'm just saying. I learned that. Go ahead.
And I was driving a box
Do not
truck.
mess with electrician's
And,
tape on set.
um,
That's what I learned.
I hit this car.
Mm-hmm.
The bumper came off the car. Eric said, "Grab some grip tape."
Grab some good.
I remember he
Eric said you ain't supposed
went
to tell
over
the
to
story.
walkie.
You ain't supposed to tell
The
the
guy
story.
from one of the grip guys, he came in. He had that tape. That tape was like Gorilla Glue. And we taped that lady's bumper. I know who it was. And we taped her bumper up. And I said, I pray that she don't fly down I-20. And that bumper just go boom. But, you know, it's different things that you learn and
You
you
on video.
experience while on set. And you're gonna have fun. You gotta have fun with it. Be free because it was meant for you
Yeah.
to be there. Most importantly, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I just had to share.
No, that was a good. That was a good story. That was a good story.
You never know.
Statute of limitations.
Yeah.
If that actor is listening right now, no.
It wasn't me.
I drove the car.
But Eric is guilty by association.
Eric got the tape.
Eric got the tape, exactly.
And
Well, I
Yeah.
feel like this was a great discussion. Airelle, do you feel like you've gotten some gems from this discussion?
Definitely, I have some things to take with me. You know, I think it's funny that you were saying the student becomes the teacher and people are looking at you because at my school, a professor reached out to me. He was like, "Can you come be on this panel for communication students?" Because I won awards and things in college, undergrad, for some of my work. So it was just he was just like, you know, come in, and I'm like, me, like I don't feel like I had anybody to come talk to me when I first came in. So of course, like I'm a help, and I help get, since I'm leaving, I help get incoming students jobs at the station that I'm currently at for, you know, Mason. So it's like I definitely agree with the people watching you, and I love the advice that these two have.
Yeah.
Awesome. And you know, that's what it's about. I like what you just said, because it is also about, you know, once you get up,
Feeling that,
you know, put your hand out to help the next person up, and I feel like we need more of that, especially because people like me don't ask. So sometimes someone has to look back and be like, hey, you know. So
I'm so opposite.
Right.
yeah, I will sit there with my mouth closed, knowing I want this opportunity. I'm like,
I'll say
no,
something.
God will give it to me. God will give it to me.
Gotta go give it to
Hey,
you.
right, you gotta go. You gotta take one step. You gotta at least take one step for him to meet you halfway.
I told my boyfriend the same thing. I said, you can pray as much as you want to, but you gotta put the work in
Put the
too.
work
God's
in.
gonna have you, but you gotta have yourself first.
Yes.
Right.
You gotta
You're
move
right.
things over in
Right.
order to receive.
To receive that blessing.
I
Right.
shuffle some
Don't play
things,
with
you know.
Right.
Slow, but I shuffle.
But
But with that being said, this is the time where I let everyone get their shout outs off, or, you know, let everyone know where they can reach you, check you out, look at your work, things like that. Let me start with E, because he's not going to say much. Go ahead, E.
Yeah, nah, just shout out to everybody that came today, and it was a great show. I hope some people got, you know, some things from it, you know, that's listening, and, you know, follow me at Eric Canada, ERICCANADA. That's it.
His low tech talking self.
It's called Smooth.
Right, smooth. Smooth. All right, Mr. Tsadiqwah, got any shout outs?
No, not really. I'm
Or
gonna shout out
anything
myself.
Oh, there you go. Shout yourself out. Big yourself
Shout out
up.
to Tsadiqwah.
There you go.
You can find her. No, you can find me at Tsadiqwah. Sounds like an S, but it's pronounced with the S, but it's spelled with a T. It's TSADIQWAH, which is where you can find me. And then in my bio, you'll see my other pages.
Okay. Awesome. Airelle?
I'm gonna shout out you guys. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be on the show today. And I'm gonna shout out my school, George Mason University in Fairfax, Virginia, for kind of molding me to get here and be here. You guys can follow me on Instagram. It's AIRELLERENEE, Airelle Renee.
All right. Tokyo takeover.
Well, you can follow me at Tokyo Dynasty on all social media, TOKYODYNASTY. And first and foremost, I want to give all glory and honor to God.
Yes,
I thank Him for allowing us to be where we are right
appreciate
now.
him. Yes.
I want to encourage anybody who's listening or watching to definitely stay true to yourself, stay dedicated and passionate about your dreams. Don't let no one distract you from what you know. Be committed and have and live a blessed life. All right.
All right. Yes. Did you give your email, your Instagram handle?
Yes.
You did, right?
Tokyo Dynasty.
All right.
All
Tokyo
right.
Dynasty.
See y'all.
That's at Texas, y'all.
Okay.
Texas, baby.
So before we close out, I do want to share something about Tokyo. So I shared with Tokyo, and I think everyone here, probably except Airelle, I actually saw, I'm not going to say met Tokyo, but saw Tokyo close to 3 years ago. I was on a set, and I was just sitting there, and I kept seeing this guy, and I kept hearing his voice, his name, Tokyo. But there was something about him that I kept saying, wow, like, I would be his friend. Like, we would be cool. I don't know what it was. He must have made some facial expressions. There was something about him that I was like, yeah, I would hang with him, right? So fast forward to now, you know, I was putting together this show, and I already had an idea of who I was going to invite on here. And I asked E, you know, if he had anyone, he was welcome to invite anyone as well. And close to the date of the show, Eric says, yeah, I got, I'm asking Tokyo to come through. And when he said his name, I lit up and like as if I knew Tokyo, but I don't know Tokyo. But what I did know was how I felt, the energy that I felt when I was in the room with Tokyo. Now, I just want everybody to understand this on this video set there were celebrities there that are big names.
Gucci just got out of jail.
Oh, I wasn't gonna drop no names because
Tokyo giving all the
but
credit.
since you gonna drop the name, right? So yeah, so he was actually on stage. I didn't even recognize that he was on stage. It was like a whole bunch of things going on, but I kept seeing Tokyo, you know, and he stood out for some reason. And so I say all that to say, you never know who's watching you.
Yes.
Like we said earlier, you never know who's watching you. And I believe it was it Maya Angelou that said, people forget what you say. They might forget what you did, but they never forget how you made them feel.
Yeah.
So I remembered that vibe. Like I remember a good feeling associated with the name Tokyo.
Yes.
So again, to reiterate, you never know who's watching. I was just there watching. I wasn't working, and I honed in on him. And so when he mentioned his name, I got that good vibe.
Yes.
And now we're here. So, just a little
Years
just
later.
years
Hold
later.
in your life.
Yes. Years later, and it all came full circle. So, with that being said, everybody make sure to keep your light on and go out there and brighten other people's day. Stay lit, y'all.
Yes.
Yay.